Wait, why does it say lap 1 of 3 in the top left? Does it say that for you as well?
Yeah, the game's just having a gaff.
Lovely. Hello everyone, hello, welcome to the French Grand Prix here at Tier 2. Me and Evan will be commentating this evening. For some reason, lap 1 of 3 in the top left, even though it's quali. So we'll see what happens here. We might have to restart the lobby depending on what's going on, but we'll see what happens. There are a couple of the cars starting the cars up. A couple of the drivers starting the cars up even. So hopefully we are underway. Interested to see what happens this evening. We've got a full grid. The only driver not making it today is John, so we've got Toilet Shark coming in to cover him for today. And of course we've got Phil Mitchell first out on the track. But predictions before quali, who's going to be the top 3?
I know Relevant is struggling with the track. So I'm thinking Phil Mitchell, Alpha Nada, and I think if Aiden can put in another performance, or Acrix, like he did back in Canada, I think he will be on course for a nice podium today.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Phil Mitchell. Then I'm gonna go for Alphinator. Then we'll spice it up and we'll go Blink. I know. I think Max is going for medium traction control today for the first time on the wheels. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do. I think the whole left side of our screen is bugged, because if I go to Max, he's on medium tyres. So that'll be interesting to see what actually happens on the left hand side of our screen, because I don't think it's going to work. So we'll go on board for Phil Mitchell for his first lap, because why not? What sort of strategy do you normally run in France?
It's normally a soft to hard for me. I mean, I guess a two-stop works around here, but I think the undercut's more powerful with the one-stop.
I normally go medium hard. I feel like the medium first stint gains you a lot of time, and then the fresher hards towards the end, you don't have to worry about any issues, as Phil Mitchell backs out of his lap. So he'll be going around to set another one. Next in line is Irrelevant, who said this isn't one of his best tracks. He is currently trying to chase Callum down in the Drivers' Championship. 2 wins in a row now for Irrelevant, I believe. Could be wrong. I will double check that. But yeah, I am wrong. Ollie won the last one in Canada, so he's coming back off a win, aiming for another one today. Looking like a pretty decent lap so far from Ollie. He is on the medium compound tyres, so he'll be going for medium hard if get good enough medium lap off. He comes onto the final straight. So it's 130.7. I don't know if that's good on the mediums or not. I couldn't tell you. And Xbox 7 Up crosses the line. There's a 130.3 on the softs.
And
it looks like the tyre compounds have actually updated now, so that's alright. Hasbro sits at 129.5 and Hoover sits 129.6. Aiden sits at 129.8.
It's all kicking off here in qualifying.
It's looking quite close between them all. I think Bradley had a bad lap, might be going for another one. 132.2. Someone in the chat says an American PogChamp. There's a couple Americans in it, a couple racing, and then you got Evan commentating.
Just gotta represent.
of the Americans. So Phil Mitchell's into the pits. He was just doing an outlap on the softs, I think. He's seen that a couple of the people are on mediums, and he's going to change up his strategy and go with what they're going with. But who have we got on a lap? Someone just set a lap. Blink did a 130.0 on the softs. There's a lot of cars out on track right now. It's Max on a lap. Max is on a lap. Has a couple cars behind him. It's a good game, isn't it? Well, hopefully EA can actually improve the game, but I don't know how they'll do that because it's EA. Trying to figure out if Max is on a wheel or not. Can't tell. 51 sector 2. Couldn't tell you if that's good or not. Doesn't look like Max is on a wheel from his wheel inputs. Maybe gonna be practicing a bit more this week for a wheel run next week. I know he's determined to improve a bit more than what he already is trying to do, but it's looking pretty clean. Has a good last turn there, coming down the final straight to set a 131.5 on the mediums. It's not going to be good enough, I don't think, for the top 10. As yeah, I think you got a relevant guy into the pits. He set a lap on mediums, but he's changing up to the softs. Even though I do think the medium tyre is the better one to run. The soft tyre is possible, but it's just you've got a lot of laps on dead tyres. We also have a few drivers that haven't set a lap time yet. Nice. So I think YouTube Flipper's on a... I'm going to guess a slowdown lap because he sets a 54.1 second sector. That's 3 seconds slower than what Max did. Dangerous Donuts on an invalidated lap. Got Swanee on a lap. Never mind. Goes into the pits. Insane Power is looking for a better drive this week. Hasn't had the best of races the last few races. Getting caught up in a few accidents. Very unlucky. For sure. He does have a car behind him who's on an outlap racing him, but you know, we move. Alpha Natus at a 130.0. Insane Power on a decent lap at the minute. It's looking good. To the 52.0 second sector. I don't know if that means anything, but comparing to what Max got, a 51 I think. It's not looking too good at the minute for Insane Power. But all it takes is a good sector 3 to bring that back up. The time's looking pretty close at the minute. Bearing in mind a few of the 130s are on medium, so I've just switched to the softs for this lap. It's looking like it's going to be quite an interesting final few minutes to the quali. So Insane Power to come across the line now. It's 33.4. Isn't going to cut it. He has got a car behind him who's on a lap. Gets out a little bit late. I don't think who is that? It's Bradley. I don't think Bradley's going to be too happy with that. Aaron, obviously not one of the quickest drivers, but not one of the slowest. Might have got caught up in something. It looks like he is on another lap now, so there's 2 attempts down on his time though. Phil Mitchell on a lap, comes around the final turn. on the medium tyre. It's looking like a good time for Phil Mitchell here. Crosses the line, sets a 1:30.8. It's a very good lap time for the mediums. It's just a 10th off Irrelevant, who set a lap on the mediums. That was a very good lap. A 10th off Irrelevant, who normally leads, normally fighting for that top spot in quali, is on a lap now on the soft compounder tyre. His original time. A 1:28.5. Wow. And a Hooper follows up with a 28.7. So a lot of time. I think, what's the word? What's the second word? There it is, track evolution. Azerbaijan. The worst track. One of the worst tracks in the calendar. Irrelevant to come across the line now, getting a cheeky bit of DRS. That might help him set a better time. Sets a 1:29.3. Stay on board with Aiden for this lap. Obviously, a 1:29.3 from Irrelevant isn't the greatest thing. Make sure you include your audio, Evan. That's what a couple of people in chat are saying. Either Ariane's trolling or you're not including it, one or the other. Fingers crossed. If not, at least it's working now. But Aiden on a lap. Future tier 1 driver, possibly. But it's 2 tenths up on this time now. Hopefully we'll gain a lot more than that in the last few sectors to fight for those top 3 spots. 4 drivers on the grid at the minute, haven't set a time. I'm not too sure how long is left of quali because we've got, it's saying it's a 3-lap race instead of it being a short quali, which is interesting, but we do love this game. So 1:29.5 from Aiden, not a bad lap at all. It's, it looks like there's a bit of carnage into the pit lane. It looks like a couple drivers getting caught up there. We've got Chris on a lap. He's come around the last turn now. Is on the medium tyres. It's not looking like a great lap. Crosses the line to set a... improves his time by 6 tenths, but maybe jumping into the pits and going into the soft tyres is a better option for Chris. A couple people... Aiden's saying again... Sorry, Ariane's saying that your mic isn't working again. Is the party joinable? Maybe try leave and join back.
Check the box. Okay, now I think we're good now. Should be working now.
Hopefully that's working. We'll see what Ariane says. But Blink on a new lap was up on his time. Did get it looks like he did get cut off by Chris and the Haas when trying to get out of the way. So that'll be interesting. As Phil Mitchell racing one of the Haas's on his out lap.
Getting a little bit of racing quality today.
Do love the good old Monza quali in France.
Yep.
And it says your audio is working now, so that's all good. At least it's fixed before the race. We'll just act like I was talking to myself in quali. That's fine. See what Blink can do here. Has had some very good qualifyings throughout the season. Definitely one of the stronger drivers in Tier 2. He's also now driving in Tier 1 to try and prove himself as he comes around the last turn. This is looking good for Blink. Crosses the line, sets a 1:29.9, so he doesn't gain any positions. Did beat him's time though. Xbox 7 Up does a 1:29.6. That's a very good lap from Xbox after a very poor first race last week at Canada.
Yes, he has Phil Mitchell behind him on a lap.
He jumps out the way.
Phil Mitchell gets that toe down that straight. Towards turn 3. Very helpful.
Phil Mitchell then on the soft tyres. 2 tenths up this time at the minute. So he's going to be jumping off those mediums and going for a soft lap. It's that last sector where you really gain the time on the softs. It's a lot of little turns and traction zones where you'll lose time on the mediums. Currently running in 9th place, 3 drivers still to set a time. Max, the only medium runner at the minute, in 14th at 1:31.5.
And he's on an outlap, still on the medium tires.
Might be aiming for a top 10 on those. Personally, I don't know what I'd do if I was in, to be honest, but Phil Mitchell to come around the last turn now. This is looking very quick from Phil.
Very.
Gets on the DRS. This is looking good. Could be top 5 to cross the line. Sets a 1:29.2. That's
P3.
3rd place for Phil Mitchell. Very nice lap from Phil. I don't know how long is left of quali, but so Irrelevant's back on. So Irrelevant's on the lap, but he's invalidated already. So this is looking good for Phil. 3rd place. YouTube Flipper sets a lap on the mediums. He goes 17th. So the best of laps. May have made a mistake or something, but it doesn't look like he has enough ERS to even do another lap. So be interested to see what happens there. What cars we got coming around? So we've got
Dangerous Donut is now on
Power.
lap.
Insane Power, he's down. We'll go involved with Dangerous Donut. He's still yet to set a time, and it's not looking too good either.
Right. Gonna head back around for another one.
Oh yeah, he's onto one now, isn't he? He's got all of his ERS. So Dangerous Donut on a lap now. Sets a time of the 1:36.2. Sorry, a 1:36.2, but is now on his actual lap. Davies and Xbox both retire from the session, and Insane Power also retires from the session, so they don't think they can improve their times. So they'll be going, Davies and Insane Power are probably going for the higher compounded tyre from the back of the grid to try and work their ways up the field. We're actually going to jump on board with YouTube Flipper, so he'll be crossing the line before Finn, see if he can improve his tyre.
It looks like qualifying is complete.
Looks like he's slowing down. So yeah, qualifying is complete. Jump on board with Finn. He's 2.2 seconds up on his time. So at the minute, still not a great lap, but for all we know, it's the final sector where he lost it all. So we'll see what Finn can do to hopefully get himself into the top 10. Knock Jack down into the bottom 11. I'm sure Jack wouldn't mind that, because 10th isn't really the place you want to be on the grid. But looking good from Finn. There is a Renault driver in front of him. I think that might be Jack or Hasbo. It's Jack. Hasbo is on another lap, so technically the only driver that's finished so far, which is kind of strange. Finn to cross the line. So it's a 1:30.3 into the top 10. So he's finished his quali now. That's a good lap from Finn. Next to come across, it looks like there's a Ferrari, but there's no Ferraris out on the track. Blink's finished his quali. There is a Mercedes, that could be Assassin Aaron. Yeah, coming to cross the line now. So it's a 1:33.6. He goes to 16th.
Right behind his teammate.
As one of the Red Bulls crosses the line. So Alphanate is invalidated and Aiden crossed the line. Nothing better than 5th, but still a very good quali from Aiden. And one of the McLarens across the line now is already finished. Who else have we got on the lap here? I think Irrelevant. He's gone into the pits.
Pitted.
The Williams.
Bill Hooper's on a lap. Targ trying to improve that P2.
What can he do?
It's Paul.
Crosses the line. He goes P1. 1:28.4 for Hooper.
Hasbo's yet to set his last time.
Hasbo's right behind. He's a 10th up.
We're at one.
And Hasbo takes it again.
Takes it right back.
A 1:28.3 for Hasbo. And that's it for quali. But Hooper and Hasbo both giving themselves a race for top 2. As Phil Mitchell gets 3rd and Irrelevant 4th. So Phil Mitchell looking good for a cheeky podium today. Aiden in 5th, and it's good to see Xbox 7 Up having a better quali this week than last week.
If we can have a better race than he did last week in Canada.
It would spice things up if it now started to rain. Hopefully not. But anyway, we've got Hasbro and Hooper taking the front row, and then you got Phil Mitchell and Irrelevant on the 2nd, Aiden and Xbox 7 Up on the 3rd, Blink and Alphinator on the 4th row. Kind of strange for Alphinator to be that low, but be interesting to see what he can do during the race. And then Finn and Jack filling out those last point position points. I don't know why I just said that. I thought that was English. Either way, point positioning, point
positions.
Gaining, I don't know.
Final point spots.
That works. And then we've got Bradley and Tenek 11th and 12th, and I didn't quite catch the rest there, but you get it.
Yep.
See who we got in the chat quickly. We've got Lake and Bertie. Hello guys. Liam, Ryan, you should be focused on racing. Lake's talking about the followers, yes. Love Lake, he's funny. And yeah, so it's looking quite cloudy, so could see some rain. That'd be interesting.
Spice some things up, you know?
That would spice a lot of things up indeed. Had a league race yesterday. Was watching, sorry, the tier 1 of my PC league yesterday. One of the guys starting 20th, and started raining towards the end of the session, but because he hadn't pitted yet, he went from last to 3rd in a pit stop. That was interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens today. So we start the formation lap. Predicted strategy was a soft, medium, but I don't think they will be doing that. I think it will definitely be a soft hard. But everyone in the bottom 10 starting on mediums, except from Davies, who's starting on hards. He seems to enjoy those hard tyres. Picks those every week when he can, and then top 10 all on softs. And I don't know who it was, but I'm pretty sure 1 or 2 of the drivers have done 3 or 4 laps on their soft tyres. So one stop isn't going to be too possible for them. But what are your predictions for the end of the race results?
I think Hasbro, Phil Mitchell, and I'm still putting my money on Aiden. Try to get that podium today.
I think I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say Phil Mitchell P1. I'm going to say Irrelevant P2, but I do think Aiden will secure P3. Let us know in chat, guys, who you think will be finishing in the top 3 spots today, as Insane Power gets disqualified from the formation lap along with Toilet Shark. You love to see it. Their medium tyres will not be very warm. Will be an interesting start for them. But as you see, Hasbro doing the Kimi Raikkonen, just doesn't want to warm his tyres up. There we go. It's one of the Red Bulls off the track there. But all the cars very close to each other. Not much space for warming up your tyres. But be interesting to see what happens today. It would be cool to see some soft tyres explode if they do go for the soft hard. Hasbro and Hoover both have their tyres pop because they try to go too long or something like that. That would be entertaining. I do think rain could come. Davies going onto the hard tyres could
may play this out pretty well.
But we will see what happens in these 27 laps at France. Will the rain come? I'll let you do the start this week if you want.
Alright.
I can't remember who did it last week.
Oh, it was me. You can do the start this week if you want.
Why not? There's all the drivers coming to the grid now. Looks like one of the Red Bulls either spun or got themselves a little bit of a gap, just to gain that little bit of extra tyre temp advantage. We'll see what happens here. There's all the drivers onto the grid now. They have 5 lights. Eventually we'll start. And it's lights out and away we go for the French Grand Prix. Hasbro gets a very good start as one of the Ferraris also flying through the back of the field there. Hasbro and Hooper side by side into the first turn. Hasbro keeps his position. Hooper right in the back of him. Not looking like anyone spun out in the first turn.
Clean first corner.
Hasbro and Hooper proper fighting for it here. Hooper on the back of Hasbro. Phil Mitchell or Relevant both keeping their positions, but the Ferrari of Dangerous Donut gaining a lot of positions in the first three corners there. 9th to 6th. Hasbro having to use a lot of ERS here to defend from Hooper. Hooper on the outside. Side by side. Have a little bit of contact. Keeping it clean so far. Not too much going on in terms of crashes.
Hooper's going to try to send around the outside. Fast right-hander.
Side by side.
Well, racing on the first lap. Oh, Hasbro's giving him the squeeze. Oh!
Oh, and Hasbro.
It's tipped round.
Hasbro. As someone says in chat, Hasbro is dub. Hasbro does get hit by the Hooper. It's Phil Mitchell and Irrelevant side by side into the final turn. Phil Mitchell giving up the move. Sorry, giving up the position to Irrelevant. But yeah, it looks like Hasbro might have had some understeer and got a little tap from Hooper. But it'll be interesting to see what he can do. YouTube flipper into the pits. I think
we got a Ferrari just going around. It's Dangerous Donut. He's around. Out of turn 2.
Just Donut. Talking about his great start. He's just lost all that. See what he can do to work his way back up the field. Insane Power gets past Max, but not too much changing up in the top of the field. We'll quickly jump to position changes. Insane Power gaining the most, and Hasbro, of course, losing the most. As we do have a yellow flag. It looks like one of the Ferraris again. I think that's Dangerous Donut again.
He's been around again.
His tyres won't be too happy.
I believe YouTube Flipper has come into the pits and fitted the hard tires on. I think he got some wing damage there off the start.
Maybe the hard tyre is to go to the rain if there is rain coming. I think we'll know if there's rain coming if these guys pit for mediums instead of going for the hards. But top of the field, very close, all within a second. As we do have Insane Power, Max, Hasbro, all of that really close to each other as Hasbro gets the first penalty of the race. He won't be too happy. There's a yellow flag, sector 2. I think that's Tenek in the McLaren.
As battle for 8th between Swanee and Bradley, and Swanee looks like he's gonna take the spot for P8.
Good driving from Swanee. Pretty sure this is his debut race. There's a couple of people getting penalties throughout the field. But Irrelevant on the back of Hooper. We have a train here between the top 4, all within half a second of each other.
Nice DRS train.
Yeah. So the DRS is activated. So will Irrelevant get Hooper here? Hooper not using any overtake, is going to the outside of the track to try and mess with their line. His Finn is into the pits to put on this hard tyres, but Irrelevant
looks
side by side of Hooper.
I can't find a way through.
But Phil Mitchell making the move on Irrelevant. They're side by side, and Phil Mitchell gets past. Phil Mitchell using a lot of ERS, is on 6%, so definitely needs to save a bit of that. Yeah, Phil Mitchell up to second. See what he can do in the next DRS straight. As we have Davies and F1 for the win, side by side. It looks like Davies gets the move done. Hasbro P10 on his on the recovery drive to try and work his way back to the top of the field after his spin. Phil Mitchell DRS on Hooper. Doesn't look like he's going to make it, but I think that's due to the lack of ERS, as Irrelevant doesn't even have any. Aiden has more ERS than second and third, so he could attack on the DRS straight. Blink just 2 attempts out of that DRS from Aiden. That's not going to help him, as Xbox 7 Up's only a couple attempts back, as F1 for the win and Jack fighting into the first turn. Jack gets the move done. Nice move from Jack there to get past just before the turn. The interest here, Phil Mitchell dropping, just got the DRS, nearly a second out. Hooper nearly getting out of the DRS. As Irrelevant
tries to look for a move, can't find his way through on that one.
Aiden picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to be too good for him, as Max and Insane Power. So Max got past with the DRS on that main straight. And Swanee's on the back of Alphinator here. 4 attempts. A little bit too far back to get a move done in that turn, but is gaining. Looking like Alphinator is struggling with those soft tyres, as Xbox 7 Up goes to go past Blink and spins.
Yeah, I think I would have waited for that move. I wouldn't have tried to send it up there into turn 12. He just lost a ton of time.
Didn't look like there was much space there. He just threw away everything he gained from the good quality he had, as Phil Mitchell's lost a lot of time to Hooper.
DRS range, which leaves him vulnerable to attack from Irrelevant and Aiden behind him.
This could be interesting, as it looks like Irrelevant broke a little bit early there. I don't know if it's just on our end, but I don't think Irrelevant or Aiden will be happy, as Irrelevant's going to send it down the inside.
Nice little move, he can get it done.
Isn't it clean? Irrelevant. Oh, for me, they're inside of each other.
Yep.
I think that's the Sky Wi-Fi for Phil Mitchell messing him up. There's a yellow flag. We'll go to that in a minute. But Irrelevant gets past Phil Mitchell. Phil Mitchell might be having some connection issues, which he won't be too happy with, but he does get the DRS. Is he going to go for a move? He's going to go for it.
Gonna look for it.
Backs out of
space. Yeah, okay.
We get the DRS now on the main straight. I thought that was DRS in this section, I'm not going to lie.
Man, I wish there was DRS in this section.
That would be sick. This last, the right-hander up here would be insane with that much speed, as Aiden is on the back of him. So these two keep fighting. Aiden might find their little pass eventually, as Blink is still 1.2 seconds behind Aiden, so he's still not within the DRS, and not good for him, as Xbox 7 Up makes a move on his teammate on the long right-hander, but Bradley takes it back.
Yep. As end of the pits comes. Aiden's in, Blink's in.
Irrelevant and Phil Mitchell staying out. Hooper, so they'll be going for the medium tyres, as Phil Mitchell goes side by side with Irrelevant into P10-1, and into P1 goes Phil Mitchell. Nice move from Phil. These guys need to, if they're trying to go for that one stop, they need to think about their tyres more than racing, as they try to go side by side, but Irrelevant backs out a little bit. So Swanee into P3 on those medium compound tyres, obviously yet to stop, and we'll be on the one stop, so it's looking good for Swanee and Bradley in the AlphaTauri, as Xbox 7 Up also pits. And
back for the battle of the lead. Irrelevant up, looking up the inside. Phil Mitchell down here towards turn 8 and 9. They make contact.
Oh. Irrelevant was a bit keen on turning in there and kind of didn't leave any space. Doesn't look like either of them got wing damage though. So, but this is good for Swanee here. The soft tyres will start to fall off soon. Those softs don't last long at all around this track. A lot of high temps because of all the turning. As Swanee, gained 5 temps in that turn alone. So Swanee's going to have the DRS on this straight. So it's looking good, very good for Swanee. If the rain doesn't come, this one stop could be very good, as
they both dive into the pit.
Phil Mitchell hits the back of Irrelevant there. Luckily, didn't get the 5 second time penalty for speeding in the pits. Maybe Irrelevant saved him from that, as talking about a 5 second speeding.
AlphaTauri gets 5 seconds penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
But the top 3 now, the medium runners going for the one stop. I've got Swanee, Bradley, Max, and Insane Power, top 4. What will Irrelevant and Phil Mitchell pit for? I'd assume it'd be the mediums.
Battle for fifths brewing here between Aaron and Hooper. Obviously, Aaron trying to go for that one stop, but Hooper just pitted for those mediums.
That undercut, very strong from the looks of it. Bearing in mind Phil Mitchell and Irrelevant down the bottom. They're both pitted for softs though, so look like a soft medium possibly from them.
Super doesn't want to wait until the DRS is on, and Aaron hits the side and round he goes.
Like a bit of understeer from Aaron there, and Hooper just flew on by, and so does Davies, and the rest of the grid, as it seems everyone is very close to each other here. There's Irrelevant, Toilet Shark, all side by side of Aaron. Nice move there from Toilet Shark, Assassin Aaron and Phil Mitchell. Phil won't want to get any damage here, wants to get past Assassin Aaron as soon as possible.
Contact. Keeps it clean. It's now the Renault of Hasbo's getting there, getting all the action here. Looking up the inside.
Wing damage here. It's Hasbo and has the red flashing light on the back. He's used all his ERS as Phil Mitchell goes on the inside of Assassin Aaron. Assassin Aaron goes wide. Hasbo attacking Toilet Shark now. He's starting to gain on Irrelevant. Oh, and he hits the back of Toilet Shark. But it's super quick on the exit there. Is out of ERS though, so this next straight with the DRS isn't going to be too good for him as Phil Mitchell gets past Toilet Shark. So Phil Mitchell on the back of Hasbo now. Will attack, has ERS. If he's smart, he uses the ERS now. He's guaranteed the spot on Hasbo.
As Relevant gets
by
Davies.
also gets past Toilet Shark.
Where that P8 is Relevant.
Side by side, Tenek and Aaron into the first turn. Tenek gets the spot. So Bradley on the back of Max. Max did get past Bradley. They're on the main straight now. Bradley will have DRS, but has used all of his ERS.
Has no ERS to let you use. Doesn't look like Max is using any. Bradley looks. Max with the space. Can't find his way through. Oh, but gets a little bit of oversteer. Here comes Bradley to the right of Max, and he'll take that spot. That is for P2.
Will Max attack back on the right-hander up here? Will we see a side-by-side? Max has the speed. He's on the back of him.
Nah, he's gonna...
backed out of it from the looks of it. But Hooper gets past Insane Power on the fresh set of tyres. Phil Mitchell gets past Davies, and so does Hasbo. But Hasbo running out of ERS has 8%. Phil Mitchell has about 40% to attack with. So he'll be looking to use that soon. There's a Relevance on the back of Blink here. Coming up to the final turn. And Max overtakes Bradley into the first turn. Yeah, Max has got that move done into the first turn. But will Irrelevant get past Blink? That's what we want to know. DRS doesn't use much ERS and flies by into the first turn. Irrelevant gets a move on Blink. And Hasbo and Phil Mitchell side by side. Hasbo getting pushing Phil Mitchell a little bit wide there. So Phil Mitchell not getting by yet, which isn't good for Phil. He needs to get past these medium runners as soon as he can to get back to the top of the field. It's like the 2 pit stop strategy. This isn't good for Phil. Aiden pits on the mediums, but he won't be able to get to the end of those. So it's looking like a lot of double pit stops here as Irrelevant gets past Insane Power on the straight with a DRS. Easy move for him. And Alpha Layer on Assassin Aaron into the left-hander here. Alpha Layer gets ahead of Assassin.
His Blink has gotten past Insane Power as well.
Dangerous donut leaves the lobby. Might have been a connection issue or something. It is down in last place though. So far not too good for Finn as it looks like Irrelevant has spun.
After having so many races without a mistake, Irrelevant makes a mistake here in front, and it costs him some time. Now Aiden is right on the back of the Alfa Romeo.
We'll have the DRS as well. I don't think Irrelevant has any from Phil because he's just too far back. will Aiden attack on this? I think he might wait for the main straight. Yeah, looking like he's going to wait for the main straight to attack Irrelevant. But all those positions Irrelevant gained. It looks like he's lost as Jack in the back has got a yellow flag. Might have spun, I'm not too sure. But Swanee 9 seconds ahead of Max. This is looking very good for Swanee here. All the racing at the back. A pit stop for the hards. This one stop's looking very, very strong for Swanee. Assuming it doesn't rain. Max 9 seconds behind. And then Bradley 0% ERS. Has the DRS but won't get much from it.
Hasbo's getting past Insane Power here. Phil Mitchell's now going to try to get past the McLaren as well.
Phil Mitchell's going to send it down the inside. It's a nice move from Phil. On the chase for Hasbo. Hasbo definitely a quicker driver than Phil, but Phil doing a very good job to keep up. Obviously the medium tyres will be lasting longer. This racing for Phil won't be what he's looking for.
Now, the real hooker is catching up to the back of Bradley and Max as they're fighting lap after lap, just allowing the racing point to close.
Pits. Will these two pit as well, or will they go longer?
They look like they're going to stay.
Looks like they're both going longer. So, will Swanee pit for mediums, meaning there's rain, or will he go into the hards?
He looks like he's going into the hard tire.
The hards. So, possibly no rain. I'm not sure if Hooper can get these mediums to the end. I don't even think a soft medium is possible. But, could be interesting. As looks like Irrelevant going for a move on Insane Power. Gets the move done into the first turn.
Now Aiden is looking on Insane Power here.
Insane Power flying down the order on those old mediums.
Aiden's going to go to the outside into turn 3. You don't see a move up there done often. There.
That on Shane, that was very clean from Aiden. That was very nice indeed. I don't think I've ever seen a move like that in France. So Swanee onto the hards in P10. He's going to the end on those now. What can he do in terms of gaining onto the front guys? Obviously everyone else has another pit stop.
Now Hooper is on the back of Bradley here. He uses an overtake, going to the right hand side.
Gets past.
Turn 10.
Bradley.
It's the spot.
Will he get Max on this turn here?
Max struggling on this 10-lap old mediums.
Yeah, those two will fly into the pits this lap, I reckon. They don't want to go too much longer as they will be losing a lot of time on those old mediums. They are on their last legs for sure in terms of speed. There's Phil Mitchell on the back of Hasbo.
As Bradley's going to stay out here. As Max dives in.
Bradley's staying out. So far so good for Max. Doesn't have any wing damage, so it's just a tyre change and straight out. Where will he come out? So Blink into third, Hasbo fourth, Phil Mitchell fifth. All of these guys have to pit. Bradley has to pit, Hooper has to pit. The only people in the top 10 at the minute that don't have another pit stop are Swanee. Well, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Minute, so it's looking, this is looking good for Swanee. I said it thinking Max would come out in the top 10, but it's just a little bit lower. But the grid is all very close out the front. This is a very good race at the minute. This is Phil Mitchell. I don't know if Hasbo has DRS. Will have DRS even. So he's
not.
Just out. So Phil Mitchell will have the DRS. He needs to gain as much time as he can to get a bit closer to Hasbo. Hasbo once again struggling with that ERS. Doesn't have much left. There's Swanee on the back of Insane Power now, side by side. Swanee's got passed into the next turn, so Insane Power, like Bradley on the 11-lap old mediums, those tyres will not be too healthy. As Xbox 7-Up gets past Assassin Aaron and Future Flipper gets past Toilet Shark.
Now, Alpha Data is going for a move on Insane Power here. Up the inside to turn 10, it gets the spot done.
Nice move from Alphinator. The leader of the Drivers' Championship at the minute is a little bit lower than I expected him to be, but still all to race for here.
Bradley stays out again. Is he trying
Bradley going?
Trying to go as long as possible in those mediums. He might try to do soft tires here at the end.
I don't even think that's possible.
I don't think it was possible either.
Maybe Jeff has told him something that we don't know.
As Blink dives in and puts on a new set of hards to go to the end of the race on.
So Hasbo's gained a 1.2 second lead on Phil. Either Phil made a mistake or those soft tyres will be struggling. There's a yellow flag, sector 3. I think that's Dangerous Donut. Has spun, has wing damage.
It's not going his way. His race so far.
I don't know if this is... Oh, it looks like a car behind him started to spin as well. I didn't quite catch it though. So we've got a couple of cars in the pits in a minute. You got Tenek, Assassinary and Antoilet Shark all coming out next to each other. Hooper at the minute in the lead of the Grand Prix. It'd be interesting to see what him and Hasbo go for, as both of those will have to pit, I think, for the soft tyres.
It looks like Bradley, who started on the medium tires, going for a one-stop here on a... I have no idea.
I don't even think that's going to work. I mean, if he can pull it off, fair enough. But I know that people struggle to do soft hard on this track.
I think he could try to do medium hard to the end of the race.
Dangerous Donut into the pits for softs, so could we see some rain as Bradley goes into the pits?
Yeah, he's diving in now.
Wasn't the one stop? Might have left us a little too long.
It's Phil Mitchell's
Phil Mitchell
also
into the pits as well.
I mean, the relevance might have to come in soon as well, because he did fit that soft tire on. Trying to get to mediums.
I know Phil Mitchell does struggle on medium tyres. It's not as
a set of soft tires for the AlphaTauri of Bradley.
So he's going for 13 laps on these softs as Phil Mitchell onto the mediums. So Bradley's going for the one stop.
Or he might be trying to do a reverse two-stop. Go for a medium soft stop.
That would be interesting. I don't see how that would work, but I mean, go for it. But Phil Mitchell now, so he's got multiple hard runners in front of him. 2 of them have to pit again, and the rest of the field will have to pit again. The only car he needs to overtake is Blink, and everyone else is just gain as much as you can and see how much they lose from his undercut. So Irrelevant will probably be in the pits this lap. Might go for an extra one, but I know Irrelevant does like the soft compound tyres, unlike Phil. There's Davies, Max on the back of Davies here, and Blink getting the move done on YouTube Flipper as well. As Max hits a very good exit here on the back of Davies. Is he going to go for a move?
Davies is at it. He's recharging his DRS, his ERS. Came on the way past.
Looks like they're side by side into the right-hander. No. Looks like Davies is going to keep it. Looks like he locks up. Max goes down the inside. Gets the move done.
And as Relevant dives into the pits.
From Max. So Relevant into the pits. I'm not sure who was leading. I think he was ahead of Phil. Might be some team orders here between the Williams and the.
I think if YouTube Flipper wants to play this smart, he'll let Phil through here.
So Irrelevant, where's he going to come out in the pits? It looks like he's going to come out. It's going to be very close. Comes out behind Phil Mitchell, so Phil Mitchell getting the undercut to work. But Phil Mitchell does have a time penalty. Hasbo 6 seconds worth of time penalties, and Aiden with 6 as well up the top. 9 lap old mediums. I don't know if they'll. How many laps are left? 12. 21 laps on mediums? It'll be close, I'll tell you that much.
They just could go 20 without one of them blowing up at least once.
I think Swanee might have this in the bag, you know.
So he doesn't make any
Swanee's
mistakes.
Closest competitor at the minute is Max, but Swanee doesn't have a time penalty either, so the medium hard.
Could be his race to lose here.
So for some reason I haven't got any time, so
I
can't
either.
tell you the gaps between cars, but I know Phil Mitchell got past YouTube Flipper, whether he let him pass or not. See what happens. Bradley on those soft tyres. If he is going for that one stop, he needs to try and manage the hell out of those. If he's going for the reverse 2 stop, I don't think that's going to work. I think he should have pitted for the mediums and see what he could have done from there, because if he pits now, it's I think you can say farewell to the points.
Looks like Davies is looking to try to do a one-stop on softs.
Blink went for a move on Davies.
It's going to be from wow, Davies going to fight this one out here.
Both running low on ERS, but Blink, I think Blink gets past. Yeah, Blink's got the move done. as Phil Mitchell sets the fastest lap of the race, so 1:33.2 on the medium tyres. He's on the back of Bradley. Might go for a move in the DRS zone. I think this is one of those tracks where gaining ERS is quite difficult, as we see half the grid has got none and the other half has half of theirs.
Yep.
But 11 laps to go left of the 11 laps to go of this Grand Prix.
As now Bradley's going to be up on the back of the racing point of Davies.
Side by side for Mitchell. For Mitchell, yeah, he backs out. I think that's a smart move there. As Tori gets past Davies.
It's Phil Mitchell's going to go with the switch.
Insides.
And
it's a nice move from Phil. He's chasing Bradley down.
Davies is going to fight this one out, though. Using all of his overtake, trying to keep in front of the Williams.
Side by side, this right-hander is going to be interesting. For Mitchell,
neither of them not getting in as Davies relinquishes the spot.
Good job there from Phil to keep that position. As Alfinator's into the pits, Hasbo's into the pits, Hooper's into the pits, Aiden staying out. So Swanee currently in the lead of the net lead of this Grand Prix. Hooper went on to mediums again.
Going on to another set of mediums
Hasbo,
to the end of the race.
That's interesting. I think if Aiden plays this smart, he goes longer and goes soft.
I think that's exactly what he's going to do.
I'm surprised they pitted for mediums, you know. I don't think that's very smart at all, as Phil Mitchell and Bradley very close there into turn 1. Bradley just keeping the position as Hasbo goes around the outside of Phil Mitchell.
With those new fresh mediums, he's also going to look down the inside of Bradley.
Sends on Bradley.
Nah, can't find his way through. Oh, they made contact. No front wing damage as Phil Mitchell gets very sideways.
Irrelevant.
Nice little scrap here for 6th. This Hasbo looking every which way he can on the AlphaTauri.
A little bit laggy from the looks of it, but on the back of the AlphaTauri, he's going to go down the inside, has the DRS. That's the move done. There's Irrelevant side by side with Phil. Irrelevant gets the overtake down into the turn. A lot of fight here in the bottom half of the grid as Max is on the back of Blink. What's going to happen here? Into the right-hander. Blink covers off the inside. Max breaks a little bit too much. Doesn't really gain much out of that. But is Aiden... So Aiden's going into the pits. He's not staying out.
Is he going to try to do 10 laps on soft tires? Or is he going to try to do a medium? Looks like it is the medium tire for the Red Bull.
So, not liking the softs from the look of it. Hooper getting past Aiden. So Swanee is leading the Grand Prix by 10 seconds with 9 laps left to go. This will be interesting as Blink and Max also on the hard tyres, but I don't know if it's too good. They need to be a lot further ahead than what they are now if they want to.
As Bradley's in for a set of mediums, we go to the end of the Grand Prix. So a medium, soft, medium. And get which side as he can.
It's a hard soft medium. Was it? No. What was it? Was it medium?
Yeah, it was a medium. As he comes right next to his teammate, almost contact.
Jesus. The AlphaTauris next to each other all the time. So Max on the back of Hasbo here. Or Hasbo got past Max. It's one or the other. I think Hasbo might have got past, but this is looking good for Hasbo's.
As from 7th down to 14th, we have a Noah's Ark grid. With the Williams, the Red Bulls.
Interesting for YouTube Flipper though, because YouTube Flipper still needs to pit.
No, he pitted on lap 1 to replace those. Replace the what did he start on? Softs. I think he had wing damage. So actually, yeah.
16 laps on those hards. He's gonna have to pit again. There's no way he gets those another 9 laps.
It's not about the 3rd. Hasbo's on the back of the Ferrari.
Have DRS as well. Hooper sets the fastest lap at 1:32.7.
These triangles in as Hooper gets right past the Ferrari of Blink.
Nice move there from Hasbo. As Max might.
As Aiden fences a move on YouTube Flipper for P8, and that's the Red Bull, Asta Williams.
Obviously, those mediums will be a lot quicker than 17 lap old hards. As I thought Max was off the track there, but it was just a really bad camera angle. As Aiden says he's 0.03 behind Phil, but I don't think that's right.
That
time
is
might be a little bit bugged.
right. Now, the real Hooper here does not have a penalty, so all he really needs to do, if he can get within 3 seconds of the Haas, he will win this Grand Prix.
Hooper is setting fastest lap after fastest lap at the minute. Hasbo has 9 seconds worth of penalties, Blink has 6, and Max has 3. There's a yellow flag. Who is that? I thought that was Hasbo for a second. I think it might just be Jack.
It is
yeah,
Jack.
It's just Jack.
He went on.
I did think that was Hasbo.
Outbraked himself, had to go through the temporary chicane. Down to slow those cars down.
So into the pits. I don't know who that is. I think that might be.
It is indeed Dangerous Donut with struggle in this Grand Prix.
Yellow flag. I think that was Davies getting past Tenek there. So far, Swanee in the lead, 7 seconds. Sorry, 8. Well, basically 7 seconds. Is losing a lot of time to the mediums behind.
He needs to hope and pray that Hooper gets a penalty. As YouTube Flipper gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane for his one and only stop at Grand Prix.
That's unlucky. But he's going to be putting on the soft compound tyre, I'd assume. He is. He's going to have the pace. But what can he do with it? He needs to put his foot down for sure. I think even if he walks out with a point from this race, he should be happy with that. So we'll switch back to interval time here. There's Irrelevant and Phil Mitchell within the DRS of each other. Those two fighting from the start. They need to get past these hard runners ahead to get marked as Jack retires in the pits. The first DNF of the race. Pretty clean race so far. It's Max fighting for his life at the top, as Hooper did make another second that lap on the Haas of Swanee in P1.
Just need to keep the lane consistent, and he'll have this one, I believe.
As Bradley gets past Insane Power, getting a downboard with Relevant quickly just to see. He doesn't get past. It's a yellow flag. I think that's just the Renault coming out the pits onto the track again. But Davies YouTube Flipper.
It's Max Litz, Relevant through.
Xbox 7 up, spun.
The race goes from bad to worse for the AlphaTauri of Xbox 7 Up.
And a very good start to the race. Had a very good qualifying session to be where he was as Phil Mitchell gets past Max on the first straight, but Max is fighting back. Looks like Phil Mitchell's going to keep it though. Yeah, Phil Mitchell gets the position, so that's P6 for Phil.
As now they go to chase down Blink in the Ferrari. I'm trying to go to the other race on his set of heart.
Those hards will make it to the end for sure, but it looks like we've got 2 brackets here. We've got the top 8 all together, and then you go down to P10, and you've got P10 down to P16 all together. YouTube Flipper on the softs. He'll be looking for that P10 at least. As my Amazon Alexa have at that moment. I apologise. I don't know if you can hear that. But Aiden, one of those that we thought would make it onto the podium this evening, has 12 seconds worth of penalties, so that could be interesting, as Max has got the DRS on Phil. Sorry, did have the DRS on Phil, gained a little bit of time, but not too much.
The real Hooper is cut. Swanee's lead down to 4.9 seconds. Only needs to gain about
at the minute,
2nd and 8/10, and he'll have this win.
So I got to jump onto Race Director and see how many warning Super has. 5 laps left to go this Grand Prix. Hasbo has, if we quickly jump onto penalties, has 9 seconds worth of penalties. And Hooper, as I talk about that, gets a 3-second time penalty. He just made his job even harder. He needs to gain 5 seconds in 5 laps and get past Swanee, who has more ERS than him.
Oh dear,
to win this Grand Prix.
He's going to have to push like there's no tomorrow.
This could be good for Irrelevant and Phil Mitchell if they can gain enough time. Hasbo has 9 seconds, Blink has 6 seconds. So a lot of penalties here. Alfanator, one of the only drivers without him, he might jump. I know he'll jump Aiden, but I don't think he's close enough for Max.
Now the real Hooper can really now start to see the Haas in front of him now.
There's a YouTube flipper. Got past insane power. He's looking for that P10. He's 0.5 behind Bradley. Either way, at the minute, he would jump them on penalties, but P10 on the track would be a lot nicer. I think a point from this, he's got to be happy with that. He could do his best, but Aiden on the back of Max. He's gaining a lot of time. He's flying here.
As he tries to look around the outside, he's going to try to make it sick.
As Max goes off the track. Looks like Aiden's going to send it down the inside here.
He's trying to make his way through, and he's going to get the spot on the Mercedes.
It's a nice move from Aiden, but that large sum of penalties he's got isn't going to help him at all. As Hooper now 4 seconds away from Swanee.
He's just gaining every lap. He might be able to close here before the end of the Grand Prix.
He is using a lot of ERS, as Swanee's just keeping all of his. He's waiting, he's ready to defend when he needs to. So Max on the back of Aiden here didn't quite gain enough on that straight as YouTube flipper goes down the inside of Bradley, but Bradley cuts it off. So onto the final
switch back for the Williams on the AlphaTauri. Gonna get the DRS
flag, I think. It's on the inside. This is going to be interesting into turn one, side by side. It looks like Brad actually backed off last second there, but into P10 goes YouTube flipper. As Bradley's fighting back. Bradley not looking to give up this position too easily as YouTube flipper gets a 3-second time penalty, but Bradley also got one just beforehand, so either way still keeps that position on penalties, but needs to gain another 2 seconds on insane power if he wants to keep P10. Jump on board with Irrelevant here. He's gaining on Blink. Was a second behind last lap. Is now half a second, not half a tenth. half a second behind Blink.
As Blake's gonna let him through. Lets the Alfa Romeo through. So Relevant back.
He's trying to save his tyres. I think the penalties he's got, he just knows it's not worth fighting. Race his own race. He knows he was going to lose that position in points. Anyway, this is going to help him get the DRS and get a little bit further away from Phil.
The Riddler now cuts.
You can see them.
The Alfa Romeo cuts the Haas's lead almost down to 2 seconds here.
So Hooper, 3 laps, 3 seconds. What can he do? They both have 3 seconds worth of time penalties. Hasbro has 9 seconds, so Irrelevant needs to gain what? I think he needs to gain about half a second here to jump Hasbro. Phil Mitchell's going to jump Blink for sure. But, it's going to be close here on the podium.
As Hooper is using all of his ERS as he's now run out again.
Hooper pushing to the limit here. He wants this win.
Cuts the gap down to 2.2 seconds here.
Gets another penalty, so Blink still keeping up with Irrelevant here. Very nice drive from Blink on those tyres. He's doing well with the pace. But Hooper wants this win. He's got 2 laps left to go after these last few turns and 2 seconds gap to gain. He's going to get the DRS eventually. Swanee has 40% ERS. If you're Swanee, yeah, as he's doing now, you got to start using
So we got about, I think, 3 laps to go now. Because it's 25 out of. Now it's
3, yeah.
3 to go.
Out. 3 to go, my bad.
Whoopsie.
Yellow flag sector 2. That's one of the AlphaTauris. It's looking like it might be Xbox 7 up.
It is.
Worse to even worse. Great start from him, and he's just been really unlucky. Who is that? I think one of the F1 for the win is.
Aiden puts
not having the best
another
race.
3-second time penalty to add his collection.
Aiden gonna be falling back for sure. Alphanate gets his first penalty.
Hooper now cuts the gap down to 2 seconds flat. So he's chasing the Haas.
Blink's gaining on Irrelevant here. He has the DRS. I doubt he's not even using it. He's using it now. A bit late on the DRS there.
He's closing. He closed his rear wing. He's not going to fight this one out. So Relevant is starting to slow.
He's the DRS to get away from Phil. I think what he tried to do was gain as much time to try not lose that position to fill based on penalties, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But Hooper
cutting the gap down to 1.7
seconds.
seconds. Almost.
He can see the house.
Almost with 2 laps to go.
Feel that house. You are looking in your mirrors and you're starting to panic. 40% ERS. He needs to.
He's starting to use it now.
Playing this smart, I think even if he does walk away with P2, this is an exceptional drive here from Swanee. Do you want to just check Swanee and Hooper's penalties and race directly just to see if any of them have won into these last 2 laps?
I'm going.
As Aiden's actually on the back of Phil Mitchell here. So this could be bad for Phil if Aiden starts fighting him. Because those penalties, he's going to keep the position either way, but it will be annoying for him for sure. So we've got Sassanaran on the back of Xbox 7-Up. Both of those on the hard tyres didn't manage to get that to pay off as Tenix into the pits. Insane power.
As now Hooper has cut the gap down to 1.7 seconds on the Haas.
So he has no ERS. Swanee used a lot to...
Trying to pull a little bit of a gap, trying to get him out of DRS range.
As Aiden gets past Phil. I think Phil backed out there was no need to fight that. Aiden has the penalties. He can just play the penalty game here with 2 laps left to go, but now we're going to be going on to the last lap.
It's about to get intense here in France.
What's going to happen? Who's going to walk away with the Canadian Grand Prix? So he has DRS into this final lap we go. So Will Hooper being on Swanee.
Able to take the gap out of 5/10 here. As he's going to be pushing as hard as he can to try to get past the Haas. He's right on the back of him.
So this next straight, Swanee needs everything he's got in ERS and fuel to try and keep that gap, but I think Hooper's gonna...
He's gonna get it eventually.
Get quite close. This got to take a lot of defending here if Swanee wants to keep this. I don't think he's gonna be able to. As
he
Hooper
goes to the left,
DRS.
trying to cut the toe. Hooper's staying on him. He's gonna go to the left. Down the inside, goes the racing point on the Haas. They make a little bit of contact to keep it clean most apart, and Hooper up into the lead.
Final lap. Hooper makes it into the lead. Can he avoid making any mistakes?
As now he's out of ERS, as now Swanee can use all of his DRS as he gets another 3-second penalty.
3-second time penalty. Swanee doesn't need to fight this, just needs to stay within 3 seconds, and he
will win the Grand Prix.
Gets the win. I think Hooper, after getting past, was just pushing too hard, and obviously those last 5 laps when he was pushing to the extreme, gained 2 warnings, and he's just lost the race with 3 turns left.
So the Racing Point's going to come across the line in the lead, but Swanee, after a brilliant debut here in Tier 2, will come home with the win here in France.
Gets it on track as well.
As Hooper decides to give it to Amir. Hasbo with the recovery drive after lap 1 incident to come back onto the podium.
Will lose that to penalties, I think. Keeps it.
He keeps the podium.
So Irrelevant and Blink fighting. Hasbo keeps the podium.
Phil Mitchell gets promoted to P5 over penalties.
Phil Mitchell P5. Blink
Aiden
goes
down to P9.
P6. Alfley goes up to P7. Max goes to P8. Not bad from him. Aiden P9. And
looks like Brian's going to take the last
come across
spot.
the line. Will he keep due to penalties? Yes. It'll be close actually.
Here comes Bradley across the line now.
Will Insane Power
And
jump?
Bradley has not jumped. The Williams.
Will Insane Power jump? We're about to find out.
Yes, he does.
He
He
only
goes
gets
to P11.
by 0.059. But I think, personally, I think Swanee driver of the day 100%.
Absolutely.
They've made the strategy work under all that pressure towards the end. Didn't let it get to him. Hooper made the mistake with 3 turns left and lost the race there. And Hasbo, after I think 9 seconds worth of penalties, very lucky to to keep that. I think the fight in between Irrelevant and Blink definitely helps him out there. As the game gives Swanee drive of the day as well. Very, very good drive from Swanee. That last lap was crazy.
That was.
We thought Tariq got it done. Next turn, threw it all away. It's very unlucky, very unfortunate. After such a great last 5 laps of him gaining all that time to get the win, throws it away with one little mistake. I don't know who got fastest lap. I'm going to assume Tariq due to how hard he was pushing to try and gain that first place. And I'd be wrong. Tenek getting the fastest lap of a 1:31.1. But Swanee getting P1, Hooper P2, Hasbo P3, Irrelevant P4, and Phil Mitchell getting P5. Irrelevant Phil Mitchell, I think, got those strategies wrong. The soft medium, what was it? Soft medium. Definitely wasn't as strong as the soft medium. But still a very good drive. Blink doing the medium hard as well. P6, very nice from him. Alphinator up to P7 after not the best race we've seen from him. Max getting P8 and Aiden P9, who I think it's very poor from Aiden. A lot of penalties and threw away a lot of points that race for Red Bull. And YouTube Flipper getting the last point position of that race. Insane Power just missing out on the points. But overall, I think maybe the best race of the season so far. A lot of action, and it was just constant. There wasn't big gaps between anyone until like the last lap, except from the first front two. But very good race. We'll get a couple of people in for interviews here. See if we can get Swanee in here. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right.
I hope so too.
We'll get him in. We'll get who else can we get in? We'll get Hasbro in here. We'll get Phil Mitchell in here. Hello. Swanee, if you want to include your audio, just let us know once you've done that.
Yeah, I've done it, yeah.
So, a phenomenal drive.
Thank you.
I can't remember where you started in quali.
13th, I think, or something. Yeah.
So 13th, you made the medium hard work. The last lap was a lot of action.
Yep.
Obviously, you and Tariq find that out on that main straight. He gets past, and that one little mistake he made got you the win. But overall, phenomenal drive. Just run us through your race.
Qualifying was a bit of a shambles. I invalidated twice and only just got to the line to start. Kind of played it a bit safe. Then in my race, I got a good start. I think I was up to P8 or P9, and then I was behind Alphinator, I think, and just like stuck with him. He carried me through. Pitted when I thought it was kind of right, and then just held the hards out for a bit till they're about 70%, I think, on my front left at the end, which is near enough punching, and yeah.
Well, a very good drive. Got the driver of the day from me and Evan.
Thank you. Just
congratulations on P1. So next week, someone's got to remind us after France.
It is Austria.
So Austria next. Thank you. Austria next week. What are your thoughts on Austria?
It's alright. Bit of practice needs to be done, but yeah. My friend Josh, he's been helping a bit. He's been kind of calming me in the parties a bit, so I can perform a bit better. And yeah. We've been done.
Any chances is this Twitch name Pizza Chip Dip?
It is, in fact, yeah.
Yeah.
He's my supporters to my debut race, so I thought the whole crowd.
You'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Well, either way, a great first race. I'm pretty sure that is the first race of CGRL, and got the win. So congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Alright, see you next week. Thank you.
Hasbo, if you want to include your audio.
Yeah, I've done it.
So, P3, we did think you were going to lose it on pens, but it looks like Blink and Irrelevant were fighting, and you managed to keep that gap. But overall, not a bad race. You worked your way back up after a little mistake. Well, it looks like it might have been understeer, I'm not too sure. But just run us through your race and the first lap between you and Tariq.
Yeah, so qualifying was good. neck and neck between me and Tariq all the time, swapping fastest laps. But yeah, first lap side by side pretty much the whole way round, and then that big sweeping right hander, bit of understeer, touch wheels, and yeah, I went into the barrier. Somehow he managed to carry on. So yeah, just a recovery drive after that really.
I mean,
Avoided all the
got to be
collisions
happy
happening in
with
front of me.
got to be happy with P3. There was a lot of very good overtakes. You're looking very very pacey on the medium tires. Do you happy with the strategy you went for?
Yeah, if I could have got the speed on the mediums in qualifying, then I'd probably gone medium hard like the race winner did. But yeah, needed to go onto the softs to get pole position. So yeah, had to go mediums, and then it was just kind of recovery race after that. Keep putting in good laps and avoiding all the incidents on track, which managed to do.
Either way, some very very good moves on track. It was very entertaining watching you fly through the field. But P3, you got to be happy with that.
Yeah,
Obviously the
points and
Pinot's getting very close.
yeah, keep climbing up standings toward Alphinator, who's still at the top, I think.
I think I'll be close between him and Irrelevant. Actually, no, I am wrong. There is still about 22 points between them, but it's closing up between the top. I think you and Tariq also very close. But,
Yeah, I was going to say there's
either
about
way,
5 drivers. It's anyone's kind of championship still.
it's all still to play for. Austria next week, though. What are your thoughts on Austria?
One of my favourite tracks, to be fair. I think time trial I can get a low 1 minute 3 on time trial. So obviously with the league race, it's normally about half a second slower. So we're looking at like mid 1 minute 3s for probably pole position. And then again, just avoiding them first lap incidents, which seems to be my burden at the minute.
Your expertise.
Yeah.
Well, either way, nice. Congrats on P3 today, and we'll see you in Austria next week.
Cheers.
Phil Mitchell, the man with the most support in the Twitch chat today. Run us through your race.
It was just awful. The strategy was wrong for the start. I got wing damage on the first pit because I went straight into the back of Irrelevant.
We saw that on the stream.
I think on a chicane, I had an incident with Irrelevant as well. I thought I was quite fast compared to like the fastest people in the league this race. Obviously, I had Liam on my back giving me the coaching advice that I needed. It was a fast race. It was just the wrong strategy.
We did say after the race that the soft medium was definitely weaker than the soft medium as Tariq and I can't remember who else was in the top 4. I think it might have been Aiden.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think Hasbro. Yeah, Aiden. Yeah, sure.
Hasbro also, yeah. But I mean, it was a pretty clean race. We made a lot of good moves. A couple nice moves on the left right hand there in sector 3. But either way, P5. Ryan just secured P10 after an unlucky first lap, but gaining more points. Still, you got to be happy with P5. I do think you were one of the quicker drivers for sure. Obviously, P3 and quali was very good. But Austria next week, if I'm not wrong, that is one of your favourite tracks.
Yeah, my favourite track.
Hopefully, we'll see a podium from the young Phil Mitchell next week.
Yeah.
Either way, congrats on P5, and we'll see you in Austria next week.
Coaching.
So,
I've noticed a massive improvement with how he's got.
I think a lot of people are definitely improving. There's a lot of pace being made. We'll invite 3 more people for interviews, and then we'll call it a day there. So we've got 3 more drivers in for interviews. We'll go with Tanik first. Tanik, if you want to include your audio.
Cheers. Well, no worries.
Someone's mic's having a seizure. I don't know if that's Blink or Tanik. So Tanik, run us through your race. Yeah, I can hear it.
Dreadful, to be honest. By the first corner, I was up to P7, and then Wi-Fi had a meh. On the first lap, my game froze 7 times. Uh, so it wasn't very fun. And then I was going nicely along P12, and then one of the Alpha Tauris, not Xbox 7 up, the other one, he spun us round after he just completely went through us. Like that happened 3 or 4 times to us. People just went straight through us. Don't know how.
You're on Virgin or Sky?
I'm on Sky. This is
Notice
the
how
worst.
notice how I picked 2 broadbands. I knew it was one of them.
I mean,
Yikes.
my Wi-Fi's never been this bad. Even when I had BT, like that was a dreadful Wi-Fi, and like it's just never been this bad before. And then like with like 3 laps to go, I think it was Davies just completely braked in front of us, like braked like 3/4 of the way down the straight, something like that, and gave us wing damage, so I opted for softs, and I just decided I'd go for the fastest lap, which I
Which
got,
you did get.
which is good. Take a point off one of the top 10 runners, which is good. Yeah,
Just a very
just a
unlucky race
dreadful
for
race.
sure.
I mean, I would have been, I think I would have been top 5 if I hadn't lagged so much. I mean, at one point I lagged the track and got a 3-second time penalty for it.
I think there was a lot of strategies. Me and Evan were trying to figure out the whole race between each driver, who was pitting when, and there was definitely some strategies that shouldn't have been used, and a lot that were a lot quicker than others. But a lot of people had a very unlucky race,
I got
as you did.
held up in the pit lane as well because I hadn't realised Liam pitted at the same time as me, so as I was going in for the pit stop, he had also come in. I hadn't noticed, so I would have
You
stayed
guys
out
not
for
stayed
one
the
lap
party
longer.
together.
No, we weren't in a party together.
Yikes. Well, either way, Austria next week. What are your thoughts on Austria?
I'm not very good at Austria. I mean, people love Austria and all that, but I'm just not the fastest around there. There's a lot of people faster than us. I don't really
So-
enjoy Austria, so probably just
A lot of practice needed for that then.
settle up on the mediums like I did today. I mean, my controller died during qualifying as well, so I was about to start fastest flying lap, like with 30 seconds to go, and my controller died on us. Oh, you having a laugh?
That is
Just
what you like to see.
terrible.
But either way, not the best race today, but I mean, hopefully a better one next week.
Hopefully. Right. See ya.
See you later. We'll go Max. You including your audio?
Yeah.
So Max, you used your controller. What are you doing?
I was using I'm not good enough on wheel yet.
We did say that at the start. It was either controller today and hopefully wheel next week, or you're just giving up on wheel.
I'm gonna try and
either
get
way.
on wheel.
Decent quali. I think you're in top 10, I believe. I could be wrong. I mean P7 in the race as well. You went for the medium hard as the race winner did as well, but it looked like he kind of just had a lot more pace on his tires compared to you. But either way, run us through your race P7.
First up, second corner, got spun around. So I was 19th from there. I just tried to, get my head down, try to set fast laps and move up positions, and it worked in a way.
I mean P7 after that, you got to be happy with it. There's a lot of strategies and a lot of quicker strategies than the soft medium. The medium hard. But either way, you made it work. 7th is points. It's consistent points for you and the Mercedes. But I think you've got to be happy with your performance, and definitely onto wheel next week, because I reckon you would have been quicker on wheel today, to be honest. But Austria next week. Are you a fan of Austria? Have you tried it on wheel?
I like the track, but I have no clue how my pace is on there, because I've not really been on it much this year. But yeah, we'll see. I'll put in a lot of practice and hopefully be able to get some more points.
Well, hopefully that happens next week, and definitely try and jump on the wheel if you can. But either way, congrats on P7, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
And Blink, are you including your audio? So,
Right.
You and what'd you get again? Was it P5 or P6 in the end?
I think it was P6, because I lost out to a time penalty. So yeah, Phil Mitchell
That's right.
grabbed P5.
So obviously you let Irrelevant pass in the last few laps. I'm assuming that was just because you saw how many penalties you had compared to him.
Yeah, I knew. Well, he was much quicker than me as well. So he was much quicker.
It didn't look like he was.
Well, when we were going up the straight, I think the lap before I noticed it was like 1.6 seconds behind, and then I looked again on the second straight, and he'd gone down by quite a lot. I think it was something just out of DRS range. And through the next couple of corners, he caught up like quite a lot. I think I must have like made a mistake or something, and I just thought, you know what, we might as well give him the position. I've got 9 seconds worth of penalties, and he's looking faster than me, so we might as well give him a bit of we might as well let him pass, so he can try and do something. But you know,
I mean, you kept up with him the rest of that stint.
Yeah, I was trying to use him as a tow so I could get away from Phil Mitchell, because I knew my
that is what we were saying.
Yeah, my penalty was.
I mean, it was unlucky. If I reckon if Phil Mitchell got another penalty, you would have kept 5th place. But
yeah.
Either way, the medium hard strategy. Did you spin at the start, or was it the other Ferrari?
No, I think it was Finn that spun at the start, unfortunately. But yeah, wasn't me.
Did you have I'm guessing you had a pretty clean race then.
Yeah, I had a pretty clean race. Didn't really make contact with anyone. So yeah, it was a decent race. I wouldn't say it was good, but it was a fairly
Just
average
the penalties
race.
catching you off guard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, either way, Austria next week. What are your thoughts on Austria?
I like the track, but it's I've got it's decently fast on it, but obviously there's a lot faster people in this league than me. So we'll see when times start coming through and we all start talking about our times. But no, my pace on Austria is fairly decent, so I'm looking forward to it.
And yeah, we'll have to see what you can do next week. But either way, congrats on P6. Unlucky not
Thank
getting that P5, but nice race.
Yeah, thank you.
And everyone, that's the end to the French Grand Prix. Thank you all for watching. I think me and Evan can both agree that was probably the best race of the season so far. The only DNFs we had were to people going into the pits and just giving up towards the end. But yeah, very nice race from me and Evan. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.